Alright, let's begin the next turn, shall we? Login. Okay, communication screen is up. A lot of things happened. Your gift has been accepted, your gift has been accepted, your gift has been accepted. Here's a gift from our empire to yours. Here's a gift from our empire to yours. That's the one I sent last turn. These are the ones I sent 2 turns ago. And here these mine layers I talked about last time. It's giving me 5 mine layers, which would probably 200 mines, so that I can lay another 1000 mines in a place where he already has some. So, acceptum. Good. Empire news. Galactic news is always empty. I think that's a feature that never really got implemented. There's a way to post to galactic news in, what was it, send to news here. Maybe if you try that, I don't think it shows up. I think it was broken that way. Anyway, Empire news. Space dogs all got refit. Very nice. So we now have an extra repair bay on our space dogs. That's going to make refits much quicker. Most of the game we hardly ever refitted anything, and now the refit time has come upon us. I mean, it's an artifact of relying on drones for defense for most of the game, since you can't refit drones. Okay, we managed to trigger another combat with the Kentaran battleship still in sector, but it looks like the treaty did not actually get broken. It told me he would break the treaty. Maybe it takes another turn to apply. Okay. More refits. Knocked over that satellite in the roller system. More refits. Got Shield 7 finished. Transfers. We transferred. Interesting. 10,956 minerals to the Twilight Collective. I'm pretty sure I told him I would give him more. Like 12,000 or 13,000. So that means even if you don't have the full amount of resources, it would still send the gift, but it just won't be the full amount. I can live with that. That also means I need more storage though. Alright. Yes, 3 gifts got through. Did the gift to the Slurpees not go through? Would that show in the inter? Transferred minus 20,000. What? How do you transfer minus 22,000 minerals? Did you transfer them from him to me or what? No, I'm gonna screenshot this and post this to my allies for their amusement. What? I gifted you minus 22k mirrors this turn. Well, not sure what exactly this is coming from. I wasn't giving him that many resources either, wasn't I? Didn't he say his own limit was about that much? He said he had 20k, 28k left in storage and was like going at minus 8k. That was only minus 6,000. Then maybe that was the remainder he had in storage or something. And I could not actually give him any gifts because this one was already the last I had for that turn that I gave to Twilight. Probably. Who knows? Space Empires 5 is weird like that sometimes. Alright, let's go through a log. Shields. More high energy discharge weapons. It's gonna be a few turns until we actually get to level 10. They never did end up sending me that gift for the extra levels. Level 8. Battleship Missile 6. Bombardment level 6 gives us the neutron bomb, which I believe just targets population exclusively. But just why would you ever want to do that? Not the rest. Okay. Population is growing more happy because of all our secret police troops. First components factory on our shipyard has been built. Everything there is 5% faster now. Good. And so the Derelict is built. And I think we need to launch into orbit. We had some fighters queued, but I think they didn't finish this turn yet. Mining base. A powerful earthquake has occurred on Panther 4 and killed 1 million people. Who cares? And let's launch a satellite into orbit. I care about individual satellites, not millions of people dead. Okay. The Derricks. Oh, what way should you go? Yeah, let's go towards Pelagium. Do you have something else to do? No, you need new orders. Construct more ships of war, please. You're building drones of war. Would we be well advised to launch another drone wave? No, just 3 drones. You can wait a couple more turns until we launch another drone wave. And then the Derricks is here. Some of them got refit into new engines, so they're going to be stuck. You are apparently also stuck. Or you were also on 11 before. Wait, didn't 11 already have the new engines? I don't know. You are not stuck, but you need to refit. Or you're on 11 and you haven't refitted yet. You managed to reach there, but then yeah. Your last movement point would have been used for that refit. You can go there and refit, so you do that. Go do that. You do DRX 11-7. This one. There you go. The DRX here. Go there, refit there. The DRX there, the same. Rien. These are the individual operation ones, yeah? Yeah, they're the ones with cloaks. Attack ships with cloaks. You have 15 speed. You could go and squeeze or flush out these 2 drones that are probably still there. Okay, how about you just go towards here? Go there for now. Just go there. Did you have a refit? I think we could replace your combat sensor. Refit Mania. Okay. The Derelicts, all of the Derelicts designs that I did not refit because I wanted you to be done with the rest of the fleet soon. When you are old. If you're this old, you should go refit yourself. Gonna be a while until the repair facilities are actually in operation. If you're going to stay there for a while, park yourself over that place. Suck up the repair rate of that yard. You managed to pretty much repair this one. Apparently put in some work on this one. What did you do repair? Some of the engines, I guess. You're going to finish another repair station this turn, so I'm going to go ahead and order the repair refit now. Before I do any more refits, do I need to update my designs again? Yeah, we got the shields generator that's going to require a lot of upgrades to apply. Otherwise, incinerators, bombardments, CSM, not interesting. I guess we could put incinerators on our ships, but I'm not going to do that and put in incinerators level 2 and level 3 and level 5 every time. The guns I have are fine. Even if the incinerators have scary amounts, they're bigger and shoot not as quickly, so The DPS is, I believe, not that great compared to the APB, so it's relatively similar, but the accuracy much worse. Okay. Research. Shields are done. I want you to finish applied research. 61% of this turn's output. And then put the remainder into industry to unlock our centralized computer systems. Another thing we should get is more levels of education. I generally like to have these levels up as high as I can afford in a turn. No. 12k points is just under 50%, so I won't be able to afford that in a turn. A level of that. Yeah, it's here 45% of my output is what I need to put into this to get this in a turn. Okay. Maximizing the research output. Just to out-eco, out-tech our opponent even harder. Well, I'm sure he is not going to give us no quarter, so it's fine. He's a fully refit. Okay. You exist, and you don't need to have that order anymore. You have shields though. You could refit those shields into you. Okay, we're gonna send you to that planet and refit those shields in there. Time to go put shields into every damn design. Sometimes it'd be nice if there was an auto update design mechanic feature. 20 points plus. You're now Re-N3. Obsolete. There were all the considerations about slapping on shields versus armor. I'm just going to leave it as it is, so the upgrades are cheap. Not that I want to get these out the door sooner rather than later. Okay, great. Yeah. I guess I did put in 4 shield generators. It's pretty balanced. Upgrade queues. 2 designs that haven't been started yet. Generics. Upgrade queues, no designs. Shrikes. Upgrade queues, none that haven't started yet. You don't have any shields. You do. Don't think there were any of those under construction now. Novahawk didn't. And then there's the Pactianos. I need to have those operational next turn. So let us not. I think it was just a big shield. Yeah, big shields go on some of these platforms, so we need to upgrade them as well. And I don't think we're actually using any small shields. Design that hasn't started yet. You have a shield then. 7 designs. No, the 2 of you don't. And neither do you, okay. Okay. Go there. Do that. Hawk 10, please. More order Deredexes. A lot of you would probably be well advised to go park yourself here where that repair station is for the moment, while you upgrade yourself from your ancient to Deredex 4 standard. I mean, you have guns, they're just like 20% worse than we had. That those we have 10 points less range. I think your HP should be much worse though. There. Wait to Deredex 14. Go there. Upgrade to Deredex 14. You are a repair ship. Go there. Great turn to use 4. Unfortunately, I'm going to replace the repair base, but I think repair ships should get repaired first and have their repair components repaired first. So this will then help with the other refits. Good. You can go further. You can suck up the repair rate of that yard. Europe's all going to be stranded there. These are drones. That's a Derrida 5. Same deal as with the others. It's good that we have this much reinforcements arriving. I mean, reinforce what? There hasn't been any combat yet. Let's entry this fleet here while we're at it. Check some movement logs. Nothing here, so we did not see these. Do anything? Anything happen in this system? There was an E-Scout frigate here that did not run into our minefield. We would have seen it because we have eyes on the minefield. Eyes on the warp point. The minefield behind it. Okay. What were those 2 ships we saw? There was warships reinforcing something. Choo-choos. What a choo-choos. Oh, great library of all enemy ship designs. Help me. Wasn't he above my designs? Yeah, here it is. What is a choo-choo? A pop transport, okay. So certainly not mine layers or something going my way. Let's take a little bit of a look on his planets. They're heavily defended. Troops in there. Thane, but all settled with Kenta. He obviously doesn't have any hydrogen because I'm the only hydrogen breather in this map. Okay. What happened here? He still has his ship there. And did not continue chasing me. Remove that order. If he's wise, he can probably still get it destroyed next turn. As long as he has more speed than he has, he can probably trigger a combat again at the start of the turn. Attack him. This scary E-fleets did not start to knock over any colonies. They're just looking menacing. There's a satellite here. I was going to hide in the corner here with this drone. Now he sees me. Too bad. Alright, what to do? We should really launch a set somewhere here to get eyes on this place. What planet? I don't need to go through here because this is also core space on the slopes. Or one sector that can actually be called core space. This one is shared. It was between the home world and this place, which is almost exclusively settled by them. Yeah, I'm not going to get this drone here anywhere else. Can I hide it somewhere? All this damage. Was side level 4. I think these basic sensors see at side level 4 already. Yeah, they see at side level 3, but they're level 3 ones. We have level 4 ones and they're +1 on each. And they also have the same, because we have their sensors. Okay, no hiding place. Yeah, I'll just keep there on the planet. Maybe we can play some chase games with the Cantaman battleship again. If here, notice where we hit we didn't actually hide it, it just passed through. Oh, it's cloaked, you probably can't see it. Right, I was going to infiltrate this into E space over here. I'm just going to be able to manage the warp point though. There was a line through the 0 there, showing a 1 for the second movement order on this tile, the warp order. We can just go there this turn. Okay. We're going to see if you die to mines here or not. But just any cloaked scout inside an enemy border system is an advantage. So let's try to put them there before I can close all the gaps. Should we also find some gaps to put you through? We can smuggle you into core Cantaran space, but we need to go through their home system over here to actually reach anywhere. Yeah, still, let's put you towards this. Let's go there. Close yourself. Okay, we had this Malfador, which I want to refit. The Amandos, which I also want to refit. Coincidentally, the drilling operation, which we do not need to refit. Damn, I thought we need to refit that. And the Derricks here, which still binds us to this place. We can refit it to the drilling operation 2. Doesn't cost overly much, and it's going to save a few points of maintenance because you need fewer life support units and crew quarters. That's a marginal improvement. So you're going to have a refit party in this asteroid belt. You are refit. The asteroid belt behind all the flags there. I kept talking about replacing the flag set with smaller flags, and I haven't yet. You actually... Well, are you actually going to do anything with zero crew? I may have discovered a fatal flaw in my plan to refit these ships. Yeah, the engines are operational, it's just zero. Zero movement speed. Yeah, you need to have an external ship to repair yourself, then. Alright, refit yourself some other day. Actually, if this one refits itself... I don't have an e-build to cancel. Yeah, don't refit yourself. Stay where you are. The Amandos goes to this place. Does it cancel the order? No. Apparently it doesn't stop the construction either. Still tells me I have full construction rate. On a ship that has zero crew. Maybe it's all automated. Get a robotics level 2 of technology to do some work. Okay. With here more grandiose construction. Some drones to launch. And then more to build. Put some of those. There's only 2 of them. You there are going to refit yourselves with new shield generators. While you are stuck there anyway, as it was. Same with you, actually. The main thing you need to get online is your engines. The rest doesn't matter, I can get it repaired anywhere else. So what are you going to do if you're going to stay here? Should we build a frigate or something? It's gonna take 3 turns, unfortunately. Yep. Go build an Overhawk. Because you can. I wonder. Last turn, my maintenance cost about 150k. I've added 18k to this. All these ships that are more expensive on maintenance than drones, you do make themselves felt. I'm losing 18k get, that get bound up in minerals, that get bound up in maintenance costs every turn. Then I won't be able to sustain that for all that long. I've reached the peak and past the peak of my expansion, that's for sure. I'm very rarely now founding new colonies. Many that I have are now going to get finished. I have less than 100 mines that I'm still going to build. I think I'm about halfway. I'm filling up all my asteroid belts with stuff. I'm happy about seeing this big as resource income from remote mining. Maybe it's time to think about slowing down construction in the near future. Okay, you could refit stuff there. I mean, you're number 9. You don't really need to be refit all that urgently. You already have the engines though, right? So you won't get stranded. You can just refit your sensors and shield generators and probably a level of armor or whatever. Yeah. Then have that repaired while you're either on the way or at the fleet position you are going to join by repair ships and stations there. Okay. Question. Did you repair any other of the Malfador or any other repair ships, construction ships that are now... Oh, I certainly repaired a couple that are now at 0 crew. You are not at 0 crew because you got repaired by your companion repair ship. This thing would refit, so refit this to a fully armed and operational drilling station. 2 of you can stay there for another turn. Actually, you can refit yourself now. Okay, that's expensive as fuck. 6k minerals. It chucks in new engines, does it? We don't actually need this to be faster. Yeah, I'm going to skip out on that repair just so I have more money to give to my allies and to finance the other refits. So you just stay there. We don't need the speed if you're just a companion to this ship, and apparently we need this if we want to refit or if we want to refit all the life support units. Okay. I believe you will have much the same issues. You try to refit yourself without a companionship. Then how about you go help that ship refit itself? Priscus. Oh, do we not have a new Priscus design? We don't. Yep, it's level 2 supports. Okay. There's a bit of space left. Check in another repair bay. And another solar collector. This is gonna be the Priscus 2. Few designs that queues have been upgraded. But one design that is in space will be upgraded. It's not a 6,000 minerals refit as well, since we don't swap out the engines. Okay, the Amandos will help you retain your crew while you swap out your crew quarters so you don't, I don't know, die in space. You refit and you stay where you are. Okay. Who else wants orders? One drone here. Oh, you're the one that launches a drone every time it finishes. Go somewhere. You know what? I'm not going to give any new construction orders to planets without shipyards this far back in our empire. You, however, have a shipyard, and you're almost fully repaired. You can now carry how much? Oh god. It's 10 small weapon platforms worth. You have 6 small weapon platforms worth. Which are these? Control net, gargoyle, disruptor beam, defense grid, disruptor beam, and one control net. So just add on 2 more. 2 more. Large platforms that have just disruptor beams or grids in them. Is it beneficial to build large weapon platforms, or should I build smaller weapon platforms? Is it better to have 2 targets or 1 target? As long as the enemy is using regular weapons and not the anti-cargo weapons, I think it would be better to have fewer targets. There's also the consideration that since every facility usually has 1,000 hit points, or maybe a little more if they are upgraded, that having significantly above 1,000 hit points means that eventually, after the damage has randomly been spread on a planet, it's just going to land on you because you're the only one left after everybody has taken on average some 1200 HP or what. So maybe the answer is as many weapon platforms as you can have with a bit over 1000 HP. My weapon platforms here are rather intentionally placed at a bit over 1000 HP. Defense controller is intentionally a bit harder to provide the combat sensors and everything. You're a little lighter. Okay. There is, however, the consideration of shield generators. I haven't tested this myself, but I'm told shield generators apply shields twice. Once to the planet, and then once to their own platform. So if a planet where the shield generator gets shot, planet with these 2 shield generators get shot, it projects 640 HP around the planet, and then the platform itself, you don't get an HP monitor or anything for it. You just see the actual component damage in cargo. But I'm told it will be able to tank those shield points again. That it will absorb 640 points of damage before the armor gets scratched, if it does get hit. We could test this. I'm not going to do that now. Of course, that takes some time and effort. I'm certainly willing to take time and effort to consider whether I should build small or large weapon platforms. I mean, the main advantage of the large weapon platforms is that I would be able to use bigger mounts, right? I don't have that right now. Maybe I should pack some defense guns. Maybe some shield towers even. With the idea that any planet I would fortify would then later build big weapon platforms with big mounts once we have them unlocked. Sounds like a plan to me. Okay. Okay. You there. Go towards the front. You there. Same thing. You are a drone. Attack that satellite. What are you, Pius? Then you can just go towards the front as well. Actually, a modern 16 speed Pius, I can use you to clear out these. I'm gonna be a couple turns. What if here the Cloaked Scout in this year's system? Oh yeah, the Gulag still exists. It appears that Quark does not want to. Oh, it's short range Ripper beams, interesting. That Quark does not want to surrender them to him, but continues to play both empires by himself, which I'm fine with. This way he can keep the trade going between his empires, which is an extra 6% for each of them. To make up for the advantage of us having 3 people in our alliance now, he also has 3 people in his alliance if you count the Cantarans. I'm not actually sure there's much in the way of other advantages that the Gurak have. They don't have any unique technologies. The E have crystalline tech. Do they? Do they? No, he doesn't. Why do I think the E had crystalline tech? Do they have crystal tech in vanilla? No, he's playing a crystal race in some other game. Maybe I was confusing it there. So neither of the E or the Gurak have any special tech tree available to him. He has a +1 movement point. Oh, he also has a racial trait that decreases the sabotage chance by 50%. Maybe we should espionage him. Because I mostly want to scare him to keep his points on defense. There's 10% research bonus on there. What does the Gulag have in strength that he could be trying to exploit? Corporate is good for research. Duelists has extra collection. Yeah. Oh, he also has that lucky event, or that lucky trait. He has hardy industrialists for the 20% space yards. And a regular builder's trait. Yeah. Nothing particularly outrageous. No strong strengths or weaknesses to play to. I've talked about this previously, but the Empire setups between me and Mystic are quite different. He's this Berserker race with the Interdent tag. I'm the Eco race with the cargo space tag. If we would specialize our empires to the fullest degree, then we could achieve a little bit more of economic strength and fighting strength if I were to have all the eco and all the research and he has all the ships. But of course, it's a very weird and artificial way to play the game, and there's problems associated with that, so we're not. Okay, cloaked ship in this place. I think we should just stay here. Just park yourself next to them. Maybe park yourself there. What's here? The star. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Then you're in range to see all of these colonies. But if you were to go, say here, also keep an eye on a war point and all these colonies. Okay. Next turn we want to send off this fleet. Doesn't look like all the Davidex is going to be done, right? What if his space docks still in need of repairs? The life support to be replaced as well. Might not have been a smart idea to have them all refit themselves at once. The construction keeps going though, right? I'm not sure if it ticks the construction of these things first or the refits. I think it ticks the construction first. Either that or the construction still works even if they have zero. Yeah, even if they have zero crew. Remember, just because it says that there's a construction right here and it's not on hold or zero, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily that it also happens during the turn. There's plenty of situations where what gets displayed and what happens are different in this game. Well, this one has a couple of these repaired, but still zero. I've got a repair facility also repaired. Yeah, you might have to wait another turn. We have the repair ship here to help out. That is going to be very good. What, 5 repair bays at 180 tonnage each? Okay, stay where you are. I'm not going to refit any of these newly arrived Derridexes anymore here. I think they didn't arrive, I think they got built by all the stations. Okay. Cancel your orders, give you a movement to where you are order, so the next turn you'll all ask me for what to do. Okay, the Pacchianos have not finished repairing themselves as well. Yeah, that's a problem. If you go mad with refits, you suddenly notice that everything actually needs some time to get repaired. Over here, the space docks are already repaired though. Some of them are anyway. We're going to finish this turn as well. I'm not going to queue something new right away so that they can all start in the same position. If I queue something else here now, I got the Derridex in each of these, then they will finish at different times, quite potentially. That does not appeal to my sense of neatness. Okay, you stay where you are. You stay where you are. Did anything go through this? Didn't. Next turn we're going to penetrate the war point yet again with a cloaked vessel. We're going to see what's there. Some drone groups here that want orders. And to give all the drone groups the same order. Backspace. Movement to where you are. Okay. There's a Rien here. Riens are independent operation ships. Can you do another round through the system? Because why not? Are there any hiding spots in this place? Not sure if they would show on this list. This has absolutely nothing. Doesn't list this for one. That's sector wide. Causes damage. Causes damage. Obfuscates below side level 4. Side level 7. So these two are sectors we want to check. You know what? Where is that Rien? Finished here, didn't it? Do not cloak yourself. Where's the button? X. X is the button. Because if you cloak yourself, you will not trigger combat. And then go to these places. And then you should still have enough movement to go back, at least some way back towards the war point. Okay. Who wants orders here? Somebody on that planet there? Yes. Well, it appears to me that you already have orders. But you can be the DirectX 14s now. Did you know? A new version was released. Update now to receive the latest benefits. Also subscribe to our newsletter. Newsletter of new DirectX designs. Okay. Drone group, but the DirectX 6. It's not the most modern design, but it's 11 speed. I think it's Quantum 3s. Yeah, it's Quantum 3s. Fine. Let's send all these guys towards the front line. Because I do want to have that strengthened. You can do the same. More drone groups that are going to finish. You already have orders, okay. Then there were a bunch of ships we ordered to refit here. A number of these lost their engines. You, however, can continue. You already have orders, so it is the one with 12 movement points that you're going to regain next turn. That asked me for a order. Okay. These the Derelicts already have orders. What do we do with the planets? We build minesweepers for the fleet in the system up there. I think a repair ship would be in vogue right now. There's demand for it, I believe. And 6 turns is a long time. Supply ships will also be pleasant. I would want a big one though. Make a big supply ship then. Also chug in some ordnance. Let us take our large ship with quantum engines as a base, please. Repair ship here, there you go. Repair ship's always nice to refit because there are few components you need to replace or to reuse the hull for something else. Okay. Already scored past it, didn't I? Yeah, up here. Yeah, let's just pick the next layer for this because it's already full. Okay. I don't particularly care about the supply pod. Let's just put it in there for the funny. I'm not sure if you can even activate these in fleets. All of them activated ones, how that works. It doesn't cost much, I'll try it out though. 3k ordnance, is that a lot? Probably not. Alright. And 30 more kilotons. A shield or something would be fine, so that you can run into asteroid belts along with the fleet just fine. One thing you could do is scatter armor, so people don't know what you are. I like that idea. 10 more kilotons, could put an explosion device on there. These ships are often some that fly back from the fleet and tend to get captured. You detach these because they're empty to go fetch more ordnance and supplies. And then some boarding ship strikes that was hidden inside a nebula, like a cowardly Romulan. That's a thing that happens. Hurt, do not get. Transport of supply. My name. Sure, call you Thrax. Things with X sound a little bit less Roman and more Romulan. How much does this carry now? I thought 150k supply, that would be a lot. No, 60k and some 4k ordnance. Okay, build me Thrax. What's the building stuff? There's the building stuff, okay. Okay, and the drone group here is the last thing that wants orders. Yes, it did go and refresh its own supply. But look at this. This entire drone group takes 20k ordnance. And that's just the pious drones, not even newer drones. So, suddenly a supply ship like I just designed feels insufficient. Not be able to fill up the supply of all these drones, and certainly not make a dent in the ordnance. Well, it would make a dent, but not a very big one. Okay, you go towards the front line as well. Let's have you wait on the side of the war point for this moment in time. Just so you don't get seen by the E scouts that are still in the system in 2 turns. Okay. That's it for orders. Who's jobless? A couple places jobless. There's some places jobless very far back in our empire. I'm fine with that. As long as they don't have shipyards, I'm going to leave these idle. And I think I'm going to do another launch wave for drones. And then I'm going to leave all the drone places this far back in the empire on idle. Actually, you can finish your container construction drones, and then I'll do the drone launch wave next turn. Which means I'm going to go through most of my empire now. I already picked that, yes I did. You were building defense platforms, you're building rats facilities. More magic. Very far away from the front lines, stop building your support drones. I mean, it's ironic. I'm using these support drones to save on cash expenditures. But what I really want to save is the maintenance cost from building these. The ironic part is that drones have less maintenance than ships. But I'm assigning less combat value to the drones now than I am to the warships. Okay, you're building a warship. Could have probably done this off screen. Make watching these videos a little less boring. I figure anybody that would still be watching, well, turn 74 would be binging me somewhere in the background. But I do want to give a relatively complete impression of what it looks like to play Space Empires 5 exhaustively in a multiplayer game. And I think it might be interesting to see just how other players play their turn. Feels like now 74 turns and I'm finally explaining my justification for recording this in the first place. Before you repeat builds. We have a shipyard, derricks. There's nothing in there. Funny part is next turn I'm going to go through all these planets again to launch these drones, finishing. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be very glad that... Oh, why am I building these now? Who knows, whatever. I think next turn I'm still going to be very glad that I do have all these drones available. Or next turn, whenever we get around to it. Whenever we use them in battle, I think I would rather have them than not have them. There haven't been any major engagements yet. Hmm. Oh, I'll just delete that as well. Okay, honestly, only a couple systems away from the front lines. It would be so bad if you kept building something, because stuff built here is going to get to the front line sooner. I won't need to pay another 8 turns of supply while it gets there. Well, not supply, but maintenance. Most things here have shipyards, but you don't. You do. You don't. You are building repair drones. Okay. Okay, anything here is close enough, and we did give orders for right support ships here. Are you building facilities? So building so many of these. So many research labs. Makes me think I should build more miners again. I mean, I can still rejiggle my economy later. Are you finished yet? No, you should really have started building drones yet, right? Built one drone here once, just to catch that satellite. Oh, it's a fighter, not a satellite. Alright. Who else is building drones? Well, a lot of these are still going to be building drones, the ones that they just finished. The ones that I just took out of repeat. Can I see the status? Yeah, that's the status icon, thanks, I had that already. Settings. Repeat. Still two things on repeat. Diff one. Show me the queue of diff one, please. And Vega 6A. Okay, nothing on repeat, nothing on hold. What I could be using is the automatic move tools. It just saves you from having to assign a movement order when the ship gets built. Okay, that's it for that. We did not get any intelligence come in this turn. Look at our stats. Last time we were just under 400k. You remember how sad that my maintenance cost rose by 18k? Apparently my resource income rose by more than that. Wait, this is total resource income from planets, and what it rose by 18k was my mineral income total, including remote mining. Alright. Graphs, resources, research. I'm expecting that to be going up a little bit. Resource I expect to be falling off in the increase now. Intel should not go up very highly. I don't think I've built very many Intel planets. Tech levels, we are finally getting the where we've gotten all our tech mostly. There's only a couple levels left to transfer. And pop is usually the most boring screen. That's the somebody lost their homeworld screen, because that's really the only thing you can see. Ooh, look at there's bombed, I took the zone one. Not much else you can take from that screen. Okay. Then economic aid. How much did I actually get? Um, I don't know how much I spent on refits this turn, how much I can still send away. I've gotten a screenshot from my ally, Twilight. He has 19k in the bank and is losing 13k this turn. Whatever I give him now is only going to arrive in 2 turns, but next turn he will get 8k, as long as I have them in the bank, which I should. Which means he still has quite a bit of money left to fill up his storage again. He has a max storage of 51k minerals now. Next one he's going to have 6k by himself, going to receive 8k, so he's going to have 14k. Means I can give him 37k minerals. The Slopper Noir don't lose as much. But they have very big storage as well. And as long as I have the money coming in, I mean, I'm still having more surplus per turn than I can store. Or the maximum storage did actually go up. It did get finished. Storage facility I was waiting for, good. So how about I just give everybody 20k? Heaved. He was also losing 8k rats, and he built some storage for that as well. Let's give him rats. Send message. Not sure if the rats will actually be there because I'm spending it on refits. But what I'm not spending on refits, I can give him since I have surplus. Okay, gift. Give him some rats too. Don't know if he needs it. Alright. Research we already took care of. 6 labs next turn. Next level is going to be 42k. That's a bit expensive for me. I'm not going to finish this tech. I'm going to leave it at 6. A level of or 3 of education. Get the industry. And after that, it's probably more economic tax, unless we have anything interesting come up for our ship tax that we need. Which again, I don't think we need to. We don't need to have the best ships. Don't need to have a ship that is 5% better when we can have 10% more ships, you know. Some gimmick weapons we could get, Power Leech, the Shield Implosion. I don't have that unlocked, I never found the correct ruin for that. I would be interested in the intel events for Sabotage Empire-wide. Again, intelligence is not usually a very high priority research target, so I'm going to. Okay. This also unlocks diplomacy, which increases our maximum trade percentage. I don't know by how much exactly. That's also going to be an interesting economical tech. It's not going to be one that does not apply immediately, so maybe we should unlock it sooner rather than later. We'll take down some of that industry percentage. Put that into our applied political science. Just 12% this turn. Yes, 12. Can't cheap out with 11. And then we're just going to go get a level of diplomacy every turn. the next however many turns I want to afford this for. Just decide. Alright. It is asking why the zip is so big. It's 12 megabytes. It's not that big. But, I think most of the size is just all these. This Slurper fleet being recorded 3 times in the combat log. The combat log that I showed is always the last 2 turns. Not sure if it's always the last 2 turns, or if that's determined by my host settings. Notice I have on every turn. Log history is 20 turns? Or keep 1 turn of combat replay. Yes, so it only keeps the last turn. And the current one, of course. But I can still play the last turn. I think if anything, he's asking why we are not attacking him. Because we had this big event a few turns ago where the Slurpener got found out, and yeah, since then there has not really been much action. It's the calm before the storm, I am certain. So instead of continuing to babble, I'll just end this here. Let's hope the storm comes soon.